Darth Vader. The Yankees are Darth Vader, imposing, relentless, and cloaked in myth. Their payroll is the Death Star. Their pinstripes are the uniform of the Empire. Every October, they roll into town and you hear the music. Dominance is expected, fear is felt. Vader choked subordinates for failure. Yankees fans boo MVPs by July. But like Vader, there's tragedy under the mask. Those 90s dynasties were pure force. But since 2009, they've been chasing ghosts, swinging a lightsaber that doesn't hum quite the same. The Joker. The Astros are the Joker, agents of chaos who blew up baseball's moral compass. In 2017, they hacked the game with trash cans and video feeds, then stared the league down like it was all part of a joke. The Joker burned money to make a point. The Astros burned credibility and still cashed the trophy. Even now, they thrive in the fallout, smirking while the rest of the league debates ethics. They don't want your forgiveness, they want your attention. Michael Myers. The Rays are Michael Myers, silent, anonymous, and somehow always behind you. No one talks about them in April. By October, they're dragging someone else's star-studded lineup into a horror show of bullpen games and defensive shifts. They have no face, no stars, and no budget. Just a knife-sharp algorithm and an urge to kill your momentum. You lock the doors. They find the window, you stack your roster, they trade 2 relievers for a closer and win anyway. T1000. The Dodgers are the T1000, polished, expensive, and constantly evolving. They lose Seager, gain Freeman, they lose Bellinger, unlock Ohtani. Every year, they melt into a new shape that still wins 100 games. The 2020 title was the liquid metal payoff, finally breaking through after years of almosts. But like the T1000, they're not built for comfort. They're built for inevitability. And if you think they're dead, wait until they reassemble with another All-Star and a 2.45 ERA, Freddy Krueger. The Red Sox are Freddy Krueger, born from curses, thriving in nightmares. Once trapped in an 86-year losing dream, they crawled out with bloody style. The 2004 comeback versus the Yankees was their Elm Street debut. Unforgettable, violent, and personal. And like Freddy, they always seem to return. 2007, 2013, 2018. Each time, a little weirder, a little darker, they taunt you while you sleep, then they rake doubles off the monster and laugh in your face. Agent Smith. The Cardinals are Agent Smith. Precise, repetitive, and deeply offended that you'd question their methods. Fundamentals, situational hitting, defense, repeat. They are baseball's code, rarely crashing, always replicating. Their 2011 title was a glitch in the matrix no one saw coming, but of course they did, because that's what the system does. It adapts, it wins. And when you're down to your last strike, it puts on sunglasses and tells you, this is the way. Norman Bates. The Guardians are Norman Bates. Sweet exterior, hidden stabber energy. They say all the right things. Scrappy, young, humble, and then ambush you in the shower with elite pitching and untimely triples. Their 2016 World Series run, a weekend at the motel, looked charming, ended traumatic. They don't need big names. They need timing. And by the time you realize what's happening, the curtain's drawn and they're standing over your October dreams in silence. Emperor Palpatine. The Braves are Emperor Palpatine, scheming from the shadows with a plan that takes years to blossom. They tanked with a smile, drafted with intent, and extended half the roster before they could drive. And now, they cackle from atop the NL East like they wrote the rulebook. The 2021 title was their unlimited power moment. Lightning from the fingertips, knocking off juggernauts with a backup outfield. They didn't rebuild. They reprogrammed baseball. Sheriff of Nottingham. The Orioles are the Sheriff of Nottingham. Once a tax-heavy punchline, now delivering theatrical vengeance. For years, they robbed fans of spending, sold off talent, and let Camden Yards echo with regret. But something changed. The kids grew up, the script flipped. Adley, Gunnar, Grayson, they're all chewing scenery now. Like Alan Rickman with a British sneer, they're suddenly impossible to ignore, and a little too good at stealing wins from your favorite hero. Nurse Ratched. The White Sox are Nurse Ratched, controlling, old school, and unshakably sure they know best. On paper, the roster drips with talent, but behind the glass, the vibe is off. Like Nurse Ratched's ward, the clubhouse can feel like it's being managed by a rule book from 1974. When it works, they look methodical. When it doesn't, they unravel fast. And when someone finally rebels, whether it's a player or the scoreboard, you wonder why no one spoke up sooner. Sauron. The Giants are Sauron, ancient power, all-seeing scouts, and rings forged in the fire of even-numbered years. From 2010 to 2014, they ruled with quiet dominance. You rarely saw it coming, but by October, their eye was fixed on the prize. Sauron's strength wasn't just force, it was manipulation. The Giants turned misfits into champions. You thought they were dead. Then came Madison Bumgarner riding in like a Nazgul. The only difference between them is Sauron wanted one ring and the Giants got 3. Gollum. The Cubs are Gollum, twisted by loss, defined by obsession. For over a century, they whispered "my precious" to a World Series that kept slipping through their fingers. Then came 2016. Their moment of redemption. But even then, the curse clung tight. Extra innings, rain delay, existential dread. Gollum got his ring and fell into fire. The Cubs got theirs, and, well, 5 years later, they dismantled the roster. Turns out, freedom doesn't come easy. Xenomorph. The A's are the alien. Perfect, ruthless, and designed to survive in hostile environments. Low payroll? No problem. Fans don't show up? Who cares? They hatch rookies in dark corridors and hunt contenders through narrow margins. Billy Bean's Moneyball wasn't a strategy. It was acid blood on the game's traditions. They don't talk, they don't smile. They just make you look around in the 8th inning and realize you're the last one left. Voldemort? The Mets are Voldemort. Powerful, feared, and yet somehow their greatest enemy is always themselves. With their budget and market, they could rule, but every time they rise, disaster rebounds. 2007, 2015, 2022, whether it's injuries, collapses, or bullpen curses, something dark always lingers. Voldemort couldn't kill Harry. The Mets can't kill Hope, but they try. Oh, how they try. Anton Chigurh. The Rangers are Anton Chigurh. Cold, silent, and determined to leave you bleeding out with a coin flip. Their 2023 World Series run was pure menace, slicing through the AL like a bolt gun through drywall. No emotion, no panic, just baseball played with West Texas grit. You think you've got them figured out? Then Seager drops a 3-run shot and the barrel spins again. Call it. Heads. You're done. Kylo Ren. The Padres are Kylo Ren. Flashy, expensive, and perpetually torn between greatness and meltdown. They swing for the fences in every sense. Big trades, bold contracts, cinematic entrances. But like Kylo, they fight their own identity. 2022 looked like their rise of Skywalker. Defying the Dodgers, 2023, a lightsaber tantrum in the dugout. Raw power, no focus, still waiting to become what they were destined to be. Hans Landa. The Blue Jays are Hans Landa, smooth, multilingual, and able to flip the scene in an instant. One moment they're charming you with Vlad Jr.'s smile, the next they're interrogating your bullpen with 9-pitch at-bats. Landa smiled while unraveling lies. Toronto grins while chasing fastballs. But like Landa, when the stakes spike, you're never quite sure if they're heroes, villains, or just the best actor in the room. Hannibal Lecter. The Tigers are Hannibal Lecter, cultured, calculating, and quietly sharpening their knives. The 2010s were their dinner party. Verlander, Scherzer, Cabrera, a feast that almost led to glory. Now, they lurk in the shadows, developing talent in silence. They don't need headlines. They need timing. And when they strike again, it'll be with clinical precision, maybe even gratitude from the team they devour. Hans Gruber. The Phillies are Hans Gruber, slick, quotable, and operating with maximum drama. Their 2022 playoff run was a skyscraper takeover. Chaos upstairs, bombs in the bullpen, and Bryce Harper walking barefoot over glass to save the season. They don't always win, but when they do, it's cinematic. And if you doubt them, you'll find yourself falling off the ledge while they adjust their suit and quote the classics. Loki. The Mariners are Loki. Charming, chaotic, and always rewriting their origin story. For decades, they've been the trickster gods of the league. Flashes of brilliance, sudden collapses, fan base whiplash. The 2022 postseason ended a drought, but started new mischief. Are they contenders, rebuilders, anti-heroes? Depends on the inning. But like Loki, they're impossible not to root for, even if they break your heart with a smile. If you like this video, consider subscribing to Baseball for Dummies because we are just getting started.